お前何してたんだ。
What should we do next, Holmes?
いや、お前はもうここにいろ。やることない。
My search must be focused upon the ship's name and year of voyage. My search must be focused upon the ship's name and year of voyage. Here it is.
もともと裕福だったんだ。
The shipping company, the Adelaide, Southampton, London line, and its address. Interesting. It must be the place where they keep the records, including the one for the crew of the Rock of Gibraltar.
I think that if you pretend you're from Scotland Yard, they'll give it to you without any problems.
But I have another solution. I'll call in the specialist. Brave Toby. The better.
ずっと待機してんの。
Wiggins, could you come upstairs, please?
At your service, Mr. Holmes.
I need a register, my
も
young
う家に入れ
friend.
てやるよ。
If you could
済ませてやるよ。
there will be half a guinea for every one of
ホー
you.
ムレスだろ。
I need the crew list of the Rock of Gibraltar in 1893 and their current employment.
I'm straight on it, Mr. Holmes.
Do you really think they'll find it, Holmes?
My secret police is better than the yard in many ways.
Here it is, Mr. Holmes.
優秀だ
We。can't take it back. It's too risky.
Put it on the table. I'll take care of it. Good work, young Wiggins.
優秀だな。
I left it right on the table for you, sir.
机ってどれだよ。これか。
This list shows the senior officers of the Rock of Gibraltar, on which Lady Brackenstall and her maid made their voyage. Lady Brackenstall does not know anyone in England. This must mean that someone on this list is our mysterious visitor. And these are the lists of the senior officers of the Adelaide, Southampton, London line ships. Let us find out who was in London upon November the 7th.
大変だな、これ。
I do not think that this sailor...
もういいよ。
I do not think that this officer is still at sea. Therefore he cannot. This officer is still at... I do not think that... I do not... I do... I do not... I do not... This officer was on a ship. I do not think that this... I do not... I do not... I do not... I do not... This officer was...
どんどん絞れてきたぞ。
Mr. Jack Crocker. I do not think... I do... I do not think... I do not... I do not... I do not...
これ全部か。
I do... I do not... I do not... I do not... This officer is still at sea. Therefore he cannot... This officer is still at sea. Captain Jack Crocker is our mysterious
Jack
visitor.
Crocker.
He was the only one around at the time of the murder.
This Crocker, do you think...
It would be interesting to meet him. Our young friend should be able to find him.
若き友人。またあいつ？お前か？
Wiggins, could you find a way to bring
す
this
げえな。
Captain Crocker?
連れてきたら優秀だろ。
Here? Holmes, that could be dangerous.
No problem, Mr. Holmes.
しばらくし。
Mr. Holmes,
すげえな。
I was informed that you were looking for me, and I'd like to know why.
犯人を連れてきた。
Yes, it is important that we talk. You will soon understand why. You are acquainted with Lady Mary Brackenstall, are you not?
Yes, I think I do remember her from when I was first officer, but I still don't see.
It seems your relationship went beyond that of mere passenger and first officer.
How dare you?
Indeed, how reckless a feeling is love, particularly if one is prepared to commit a murder in its name.
Explain yourself this instant.
You are aware that the murder made the headlines of the morning press. You read the newspaper report, but to your dismay, found it much fabricated. Once you learned that I wanted to see you, you came straight away. You needed to know what I had found.
You? And what do you know?
That evening, you were with Lady Brackenstall, despite the danger.
I'm not afraid, Mr. Holmes. Besides, all of this is just guesswork.
You would be right, if there was no evidence.
What then?
誠実なんだ。
Lady Brackenstall was tied to a chair on the night of the murder. And it was you who tied her up.
You call that evidence?
Yes, as she was tied with a sailor's knot. Your handiwork.
So, it's a sailor who's done it. That proves nothing, Mr. Holmes. I'm not the only sailor in London right now. Your theory is flawed anyway. On the night of the murder, I was aboard the Shark. I was supervising the repair of a porthole.
At night.
It was an emergency. There was a leak. You can ask the ship's carpenter. He can confirm.
I'm sure that he can.
Perfect. In that case, we have nothing more to talk about. Good evening, gentlemen.
Holmes, what should we do now? Would you like to check his alibi?
No. There is no doubt that these men will testify in his favor, and there will be no way to check.
So, what then?
So, we must work with what we have. We have all the puzzle
more.
pieces.
Now I understand why you dissected the bell rope.
じゃあもうあれか。結論出すのか。今回短そうだな。もうこれ全部揃ったのか。クロックは嘘ついてる。どっちだろうな。嘘をついてる。と船長は殺人。と思うけどな、普通に。
殺した後に船長を呼びつけたのが
実行犯は船長だと思うがな。やっぱ即死させられてるしな。じゃあ乗船したとして、これが事故だった可能性。そうしたらこうなるとランドル爆破殺罪を犯した。他は全部関係なくなるのか。事故ルートはどうやって持っていくんだろうな。作り話だった。ことになるよな。これは2人かな。これ事故死ルートに持っていける？勝てない。夫人と揉み合った。これもありえるの？じゃあ大きく3つ？テレサが犯人っていうのはないんだな。
テレサにこういう関わってるみたいな感じで書かれてたんだよ。
ああ、じゃあこれがまあ2人来るのは間違いない。事故だったとは思えねえけどな。事故の可能性もあるの？
知人はいないっていうのと矛盾しちゃうもんね。実際の船長と知り合いなわけだし。やっぱり船長なんだ。
船長が犯人だと全部繋がってくるのかな。家庭内暴力もかかってくるのか。これが全部繋がるもんな。やっぱこれが有力だよな。全部の線が繋がってくるもんな、これが。まあこれ最後にやろう。まあ一番ありえないこれにしようか。一番ありえないこれで。どっちがいい？手柄を渡すか警察を任す。警察なんか頼んねえよ。ずっと座ってたやつに。ずっと座ってたやつに手柄なんか渡せねえよ。またワトソンいないの？あいつら喜びそうだな、こんな推理したら。本当に強盗に襲われた。あの二人喜ぶな。
Well, Inspector, this case proved to be a simple one after all.
You think it's the Randall?
あ、こっちに話すのか。
Yes.
I'll put my men on it straight away.
The next time you call on me, do try to make sure it's for something a little better than this.
What do you mean, Mr. Holmes?
It is a case that only Watson could find some small point of interest in. I am used to more challenging work.
そんな終わり？そんな終わり方？おかしいだろ。当たり前だよ。すげえ雑。 まあありえないもんな。一番ありえないもんな。まあ事故もないだろうな。家庭内暴力とか関係なくなっちゃうもんな。有罪だよ、夫人は。夫人は有罪だ。
I have reached my conclusion, Lestrade. I regret that your culprits
本
are
人には合わない
in
の
the
か
next room.
結局。
Lady Brackenstall and her maid?
Yes, and their mise en scene after the death of Sir Eustace can only point to premeditation.
That's terrible. Follow me. I'm going to arrest them. Ladies, I must arrest you both for the murder of Sir Eustace.
What? But that's impossible. We are innocent. Madam.
You'll tell that to the judge. Come with me.
You are making a serious mistake, Inspector. You too, Mr. Holmes, which is rather surprising of you.
Or rather, impossible.
雑。まあないだろうな。いや絶対違うでしょ。今回は簡単だろう。そういえば全部終わってるよな、一応。終わってるね。登場人物もちゃんとあいつ入ってるよな。クロッカー。教養がある。教養があるとか、一目でわかんのか。まあこれだろうな。普通に考えて。さあどうするか。
逮捕する方だと夫人も罰せられるんだ。
殺害だ。まあね。まあね、まあ被害者の方が悪かったっぽいけどな。でも逮捕するわ。
Wiggins, could you ask Mr. Crocker to come here again, please?
Right away.
有能すぎるだろ。
Why did you make me come here again, Mr.
どうしてまた来たんですか。
It is over. I know that it was you who killed Sir Eustace Brackenstall.
What?
I know.
バトル
Because
始ま
of
り
the
そうな。
height at which the rope was cut. The knife used was a sea knife. The knots were sailor's knots. And not least, the sheer force that was put behind the killing blow. And because you are the only one who knows Lady Mary Brackenstall in London. And because you love her.
It's true.
It is time for you to tell us the whole truth.
I admit that I loved Mary madly from the first day that I met her. But I never did come to visit her. For I
あっさり
believed
認
she
めた
was
な。
in a happy household. When I talked to her,
でも初めてだなこれ。あっさり犯人が分かったの。
I was due to set sail for 6 months away. I wanted only to see her again. But it turned into a damnable nightmare when he barged in. He dared raise his hand to her. He was not even worthy of licking her boots. Oh, I regret nothing. I admit I killed the monster out of love for her. She will forgive me if she is able.
Lady Brackenstall already forgave you. She said nothing.
Mary.
But that makes her an accomplice as well as her maid. It places her in danger yet again.
Mr. Holmes.
You would not have managed to protect her.
Till I die, do you hear me? Here is a letter that sets everything clear. And it is the one that should be disclosed to the police. I am the only culprit. Mary had nothing to do with it. Now it is time to end this.
バトル。連打でいいのかな。ああ、急にやめてよこれ。危ない、自殺しようとしてた。
How can I live if Mary suffers?
自殺しようとしてたのかな。どこにいたの、ワトソン。指やってる場合じゃねえ、そういう風に。ワトソンどこにいたんだよ。
I give you Sir Eustace's killer. He tried his best to perform his own justice.
Well, I'm not surprised. Yes, it was me. I confess.
Here is a piece of evidence that can be used in court.
Perfect. A case that went smoothly for once.
今回は簡単だったよな。いいよ、もう受け入れるよ。法律も許さないよ、殺人者。殺人犯は許さない。乱読家って何
Holmes, for heaven's sake, whatever is going on?
Oh, hello, Watson. You're early. Did you kill all of your patients?
What? Holmes, where have all these wretched bees come from?
I increased the temperature of the room so as to prevent them from hibernating. I needed to take a sample of honey. But it worked, Watson. We will have honey all year round.
Ridiculous and dangerous.
They're domestic bees, Apis mellifera, such industrious workers. Anyway, Watson, I am sorry, but I must leave you. I'm in rather a hurry.
You have a new case?
Yes, but nothing as thrilling as this experiment. A theft of plants at the Royal Botanic Gardens in Kew. I'm helping a minister who's an old friend of mine. You can join me if you like.
Well, I'll admit that I'd far rather accompany you than remain alone here with these workers of yours. Besides, you'll need a helping hand with the flowers you're intending to bring back.
Watson, however did you guess?
For the great Sherlock Holmes to bother with the theft of plants. Come on, admit that you're planning to spoil your little bees with some rare pollens.
Since when did I become so transparent? Let us go.
Well, I'll admit that I'd far rather accompany you than remain alone here with these workers of yours.
あ、何が出ないんだ。フォークいらんわ。これ間違ってたってことなのかな、やっぱ。
でも銃撃戦やったしな。湖に沈めたのかな。
これ多分赤間違ってるってことだよな、多分。でもそれだったら変えるか、文字を。文字を変えるよね、多分間違ってたら、ご自身が。よくわかんねえな。 京王線は。あ、これじゃないか。
あ、これは違う。最初の時間。
どれだ。これか。これ。大した話じゃねえな。船長はどうなったんだ。
This is where I keep my poke, my archive.
まあ助けてやったからな、船長。死なずに済んだし。両開きだ。両開きの扉。
My archive.
ああ、変装するか。どうせ帽子しかかぶれないんだろう。一種類の。何なんだよこれ。
何なんだろうね。よく使わなかったんだよね。
さあ今回登場人物何人いるんだ。全部かなと。4人か。最後が3人なんだ。であと2つか事件は。意外とボリュームあるな。
My archive. I can always consult with it if needed.
あと2つ事件あるのか。これともう1つ。いいよワトソンは。何メモ見てるふりしてんね。ワトソンなんで女子やってんだこんなの。てか長えなロードが。ロードが長えな。
Well, Holmes, here we are at the Royal Botanic Gardens. There's no doubt that this place is beautiful. But are you really intent on investigating the theft of the plants?
Yes, of course.
Don't touch anything else, is that clear? Just go and get a bucket of fertilizer. And without turning it over this time. Good day to you, gentlemen. How may I help you? If you are here for a visit, please do come back on Sunday.
I am afraid that it cannot wait. My name is Sherlock Holmes, and this is my friend and colleague, Dr. Watson. We are investigating the theft of plants that took place here 5 days ago. A remarkable collection, I believe.
So you're the one in charge, eh?
A small favor for a friend. Now, to whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
I am Martin Hamish. I am the Deputy Director of Kew Gardens. And that fellow yonder is Albert. He works here.
I am delighted to meet you. What can you tell us about the plants?
They were rare and exceptional plants. We presented them at our last exhibition. We haven't removed the stand yet. It is still in the large glasshouse. We only learned of their disappearance the evening after the exhibition, and nobody saw anything.
No doors were forced?
No, but I would imagine that for a thief it would be fairly easy to gain entry, for there are no guards here.
Well, if you don't mind, we will take a look. Now, you say that it is in the large glasshouse.
Yes, the one just behind me. Just a second, since Albert has nothing else to do. Albert, show these gentlemen where the exhibition was held.
How many people work here?
Only myself. But occasionally 2 students, Albert, whom you have met.
登場人物4人か。この2人とアルバイトの2人で4人。
Here it is. This is the
殺
place
人
where
は
the
ないの
stolen
か。
plants were exhibited.
Thank you. Is there something the matter?
Yes, there is. All right, the plants were valuable and rare, but it seems to me that the tragedy that took place here only 2 days ago has been entirely forgotten already.
What tragedy are you referring to?
My The director of Kew Gardens, Mr. Montague Dunn, he died here just 2 days ago.
We're very sorry. We were not aware. The two of you were good friends?
He was my father.
Oh dear. Our condolences. We should not be troubling you. Please do excuse us for the intrusion.
You say that he died here, in the large glass house?
Holmes?
Yes, just here, near the door to the Colonial Collection. He suffered a heart attack, just like that, so suddenly. It was terrible. Excuse me, gentlemen, but I cannot remain here. If you need me, I'll be in the reserve. That's the room next to the front of the large greenhouse.
Of course, we understand.
結局殺人かよ。
What should we do next, Holmes? Do not touch. What should we do next, Holmes?
とりあえずそこをどいてくれ。とりあえずそこをどいてくれ。
Here is a list of the stolen plants.
こんな簡単に盗めるかもな。
The plants were here. All of them were stolen.
What should we do next, Holmes?
どいてくれ。
The traces are thinner in some places. These boot marks are fresh. It appears as though someone was dragging their feet. The footprints reveal that someone staggered here. Blood. This sign is broken. Something heavy was dropped upon it. Someone fell violently against this sign, and they were injured in the clash. Most likely a head wound. Soil. It should have come from a flower pot. The soil on the side of this flower shelf is the same as that on the ground.
まあなんか
Fragments of a flower pot. It fell down here. The door was smashed at shoulder height. This door handle is new. It was recently changed. The esconsum was breached near the handle. The door was forced from the inside of the Colonial Collection room. The handle was changed afterwards.
I think we need to...
Very strange. Half of the Colonial Collection is absent. The smell is strong. It is a detergent. These windows were perfectly cleaned. This broken fragment was the result of a heavy blow. A fragment of marble, most likely chipped from a statue or sculpture. Part of this greenhouse was emptied and thoroughly cleaned.
なんもわからんな。現時点でなんもわ
This
か
is
らん。
one of the outlets of the ventilation system.
どうやって開けた？どうやって開けたんだお前。そこで検索する。もう帰れというのか。またなんかあんの？
These plants come from all the territories of the British Empire.
なんかあるの？なんだ？ん？ 何があんだ。なんか調べるって。何よ。調べたよな。いや、これボタン押せってくるから、なんかあるのまだ。調べたよな。これ？
This pot was broken fairly recently.
これでいいのか
A
な。
flower pot recently fell down from these shelves and was misplaced. All the clues around here are quite suspicious. I need my imagination to make sense of it all.
いや、わかんねえよ。ちょっとわかんない。
These
No more
trees, with their roots in water, must originate from Louisiana.
Ah, yes, the bayou. I remember our visit in the case of the Awakening.
とりあえずあれを成功させなきゃいけないのか。ちょっと何を求めてるのかよくわかんない。これ？お前はなんだ？どういうから？
No, it wasn't like that.
いや、なんだよくわかんねえや。どれが一
No,
番
it
最初？
wasn't like that.
どれが一番最初からな。扉を壊す、ハチをひっくり返す、倒れる。これでいいんじゃないの？どう？これしか考えられないよな。普通に考えて。これしかありえないでしょ。
This reconstruction reveals a disturbing fact. Montague Dunn damaged the door of the Colonial Collection Room.
He was in a panic, or the door was locked. Was it an accident, or a murder then, I wonder?
全然わかんない。ダンって誰？ダン死んだ人か。じゃあとりあえずここにはもう用事ないか。今は検視できる身分なのか。よくわからんな、ほら事件の概要が。
I asked Inspector Lestrade to take Montague Dunn's body to Scotland Yard.
It's ready for autopsy then. It's ready for autopsy then.
間違えた。
This watch is of great value. A beautiful feather pen of a good make. A membership card for the London Crest Club.
誰か使わない。
Locked.
あ、入らないんだ。
First of all, let us carry out an external examination.
目を閉じてやれ。
The vessels and the pupil of the eye appear quite normal. There is an injury to the skull, most probably caused by the fall in the water lily greenhouse. The air from the lungs carries a faint floral aroma. There are no suspicious marks upon the chest. Let us finish our external examination so that we can proceed with the autopsy. No redness, stings, or bruises. Nothing suspicious here. Now, let us examine the internal organs. The liver is enlarged. It would seem that he was suffering from an alcohol addiction. The liver tissue is brown. There are no visible pathological signs. The heart's blood vessels show no pathological signs. The heart tissue shows no visible pathological signs. The lungs are congested and edematous. The tissue on the inferior lobe of the right lung is damaged, most probably caused by toxins from an unknown plant. The stomach tissues show no visible pathological signs. There is a small amount of content. It appears that he breakfasted lightly, only a short while before his death. The suspicions have been substantiated. Montague Dunn, the director of Kew Gardens, died from poisoning. Plant poisoning, to be more exact.
You mean...
Yes, it is murder.
We should inform Lestrade.
Yes, but do remember, Watson, that I discovered the murder. The challenge is mine.
The challenge, Holmes?
We need to locate that deadly plant. Such a perfect murder appeals to me.
Murder of any kind appeals to you. Is that all we need to do?
No. We also have the people working at Kew Gardens. Martin Hamish and the son of the victim, Albert Dunn.
And also Miss White, of whom we spoke with Mr. Hamish. Should we bring them all here for interrogation?
No. A few innocuous questions at Kew will suffice, as well as a discreet delve into their personal affairs. Yes, Watson. It is time now to open the doors.
Even those in the staff building? I suppose that is necessary.
We should also be concerned with the victim himself. After all, we don't know very much about Montague Dunn.
You're enjoying this already, aren't you?
More than a little.
What should we do next?
これだけお前か。
This is where I keep my post.
こっちかな。これかな。
That is not. That is. That. 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 That is not the one I need.
フード。あれこれ全部か。これ全部やったよな。じゃこっち新聞
That is not the one I need.
何年かわかんねえしな。結構探すの大変じゃね。
That is not the one. That is not.
シャーロック・ホームズの冒険ってなんだよ。やっぱこっちか。そしたら
That is not.
毒じゃないの。
That. 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 That.
じゃあわかんねえや。
That is not.
これ全部でしょ。
That. That.
わかんねえ。
That.
全部やったよな。じゃあこっち
That.
もういいよ、全部やるよ。わかんねえ。
That. 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 That.
え、ないの
That. 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 That.
え、ここじゃないってこと
That.
ちょっと離れてみてもらえる？新聞、ああ、そんなことになっちゃう。なんだろう。
ないな。
ないね。新聞、珍しい植物。
全部調べたよな。全部調べてもダメだったもんな。
My archive.
なんだろう。
That. That is. That. That.
全部調べて違うって。もう全部調べたよな。 わかんない。
他に資料なんてないよね。
Someone should. Have you found something?
何してんのお前。こっち？これもあんのかよ。これもあんのかよ。
なんだって
そんなのわかんねえよ。これあんじゃねえかよ。めっちゃあんじゃねえかよ。普通にあるってよ。
Here it is.
かな。さあもうあとは植物園行くだけかな。まだあったやついるよね。誰も入ってねえし。誰も追加されてねえ。なんだよ。長えな、ロード。長えな。よし、終わるか。